What's up, guys? Welcome to another video on my channel. This one is about quick fixes for our lesson plans. These fixes involve things that are going to be easy to do. They're quick, right? They're going to add a pop of engagement or interactivity for our students. I gotta tell you, it's hard being a teacher. Like, it's hard coming up with lessons and activities that can kind of engage and inspire students to be at their best and do their best. That's not easy. And while it's not our job to necessarily create sort of fun and engaging lessons, it should be our goal, right? Because we understand that fun is flavor. Fun is the thing. It's the spice that we're going to remember. It's going to change that bland lesson into something that's memorable, into something that they're going to talk about, into something that they're going to want to come back to. So if this sounds like something you want for your lesson, some ideas you want to gather here, stick around. Thanks everyone for sticking around for the quick fixes to your lesson plan to add engagement and interactivity. Now, as always, I just would really appreciate if you kind of give it a thumbs up this video. And as always, I would love you to post your comments down below, either on the video or sharing your own quick fixes in this video. That would be awesome to hear from you guys, because I know you have tips and tricks that we could all benefit from. Let's dive into some of these quick fixes we can do. These things that probably you've heard of, some of them you might not have, but what I want you to recognize is we forget to use them. I forget to use them too. And this video as much is a reminder for me as it is you to drop these little quick fixes in, because they make a difference for the lesson. First one I'm going to talk about is manipulatives. Using manipulatives in the classroom is a huge way to break down that typical, stereotypical classroom where it's teacher, student, answering questions, reading something, filling out some sort of notebook, right? Here, it's giving them something to touch. It becomes tactile, and it's something that's sort of memorable to them. It is adding that flavor. So in this channel, we have lots of videos that talk about using Legos in the classroom and kind of this construction you can do. But remind yourself that they don't always have to be so big. Now, I love a cool, like, build a scene from last night's reading, build sort of a scene from the chapter, build the 3 main concepts from last night, but those can take a while. Those can be 20, 30-minute activities. Here, I'm gonna suggest that we use something a little more abstract. Have your kids grab 10, 15 Legos only, and maybe as a group, maybe as a single person, maybe every single person has to build sort of the vocab term that we're working on. Build sort of the concept we just studied. You build something that you learned from the video we just watched, whatever, but it's gonna be more abstract because they only have 15 Legos, 7 Legos, whatever you wanna do. But that kind of Lego challenge could be dropped in. Literally, it's gonna take you like 5 minutes to do, and it adds that little kick of engagement, a little something that they weren't expecting, that flavor. You're adding those spices to the class, and I absolutely love it. The next one, which is slightly about using manipulatives, it's to think about a conversation in a different way. I call it poker chip participation. I love alliterations. You might see that in this video as well as others. Poker chip participation, I give everybody some poker chips, and they're having these discussions at their table, but each time that they speak, each time that they add something to the discussion, they have to put a poker chip in the center, and they can't participate again until all the poker chips are in there. You can play around with the numbers. You can give kids more poker chips, less poker chips. You can give different colored poker chips. I've done that, where sometimes the red poker chip, you get a chance to interject, you get a chance to interrupt somebody, and when somebody plays a red poker chip, they get the right to do that. You can try different things, but it makes that conversation different, and it adds that flavor, it adds that spice, and it's not that hard for you to do. This is something that you could do and you could think about on your way to school and just add it to almost any lesson you're doing. All right, another thing that we sort of forget is to add the physical. We like kids sometimes in their seats, in their spots. It's a little easier to control, it's a little easier to manage. But reality, if we can get our kids out of their seats, it sort of, again, adds that flavor. It's gonna be memorable, it's gonna be engaging, and it's gonna help connect to the content you want. So one of the ways I do that, I have a video I'll post right here. It is about history graffiti. You could use it as a preview to almost any chapter. I don't care if you're teaching high school sophomores or third graders. You kind of open up your textbook and you preview a section by having them look for juicy words. You can watch the video here, but they get to sort of write it up on boards like this, and they will love it. It gets them out of their seat. It's active. Check the rules out. It's fabulous. Another simple drop-in is charades. Have kids try to do charades around the vocab terms you have. You have 5 minutes left in class. Pull out a deck of vocab cards and have them try to act out some of the words that you're doing. You can have them do it in partners or groups or whatever. But again, it is 5 minutes. Have it be as a brain break if you're doing block scheduling and you have 70, 80, 90 minutes. Man, throw a little like charades throwdown, vocab charades in the middle, and they're going to love it. And it's simple, and you can pop that in there. Or truly, again, just sprinkle these in. When you're reading, if you're doing popcorn reading in your classroom and you're reading it together and you just hear something, you might just say, can anybody act that vocab term out? Boom, take center stage, come on up here, try it. And I guarantee you, they're gonna love that sort of oddity that you've stopped the lesson to allow kids to sort of come up and act out the vocab term we just learned. It's fun, it's different. You're gonna love it, they're gonna love it. Speaking of beach ball, how about beach ball banter? I love this when you fill that beach ball with air, you pop it around the class, and whoever gets the ball is able to sort of participate and discuss in sort of what would amount to be a debate, something that you have 2, 3, multiple sides, some sort of opinion. But when you have the beach ball, it's your ability to talk, and you throw that term banter around to middle schoolers. You just let them know that we're going to be debating something, and ooh, they get fired up. They get fired up to be able to like talk. But this beach ball is a little pop, and it gives them something to sort of look to, something they'd be excited to get. And it also actually controls the lesson a little more rather than just me calling on people. It's rather fun. All right, the next one I really love. I saw a colleague here at University School do it, and they did such a good job. I call it Spectrum Spotlight, and what it is you've probably heard of the activity where you have the 4 corners. Great physical activity where you ask a question and say, if if you're this kind of person, that kind of person, that kind of person, that kind of person, you go to the different corners. And that physicality of having to place yourself somewhere is really powerful. Well, this teacher did it a little different. She used her classroom as almost like a spectrum and kind of said on this side of the classroom, it's like strongly agree. On this side of the classroom, strongly disagree. Or on this side of the classroom, you strongly can like empathize with that person or that character. And on this side, you don't empathize with that character. And they have like literally like 10 seconds to sort of place them somewhere in that spectrum. And then the Spectrum Spotlight comes in that she is going to call on some of you to sort of justify your placement on that spectrum. Why are you slightly off center? Why are you all the way to strongly agree? And again, you can use this no matter what subject. It could be science, it could be social studies, it could be English. You could be talking about identifying with the character in a book. You could be talking about, would you have made the same choice historically speaking? Do you identify with that historical character? Remember, it's about getting those kids out of their seat, doing something different, something they wouldn't expect, and these are all quick fixes. Remember, fun is the flavor. The flavor is what they're going to remember. The flavor is what they're going to come back for time and time again. So I hope you have liked these suggestions, and I hope you try some of these quick fixes. It would be like a huge honor if you tried some of them. Let me know how they go. I would love to hear from you. And as always, I would love for you down below in the doobly-doo, as they say, post a comment, share your quick fixes. What's something that you do that you sprinkle into a lesson that adds that flavor that makes it more memorable? As always, guys, I'm Michael Matera, and I absolutely love having you here in this channel, sharing, growing, learning together, finding that joy in the journey. That's all I got for you today. Take care.